Hello guys, Mario the Radio. In today's video, we're going to be doing Alternate Future Part 4. And, with that, we are going to be not doing something in North America. Well, the video isn't going to be mainly focused on North America. Wait. Okay, guys, I just realized something that, this green alliance is the same color as this alliance. So, I'm going to go ahead and switch this quickly. I'm just going to make, like, a random color. Make that extremely dark. No, we'll go ahead. Just make it, no. Okay, I think I have a color. This will be the color of these guys. Okay, there we go. So next off the list, now to the video. Okay, so when the people from fighting in North America come home to France, they reach here and here and here. They get home, or they probably flying from, and they get home. But a new city is built right here. And a lot of big bases are built along the border of Italy. So these are a lot of major cities and just a lot of major army bases, because they think that this is going to be the safest area because, for one, the Italians and the French aren't really enemies, and the French are being forced to leave the Red Alliance anyway. So, because you wanna know why they're leaving the Red Alliance? Is because so a couple group of, like, not a small, a massive group of people in Paris said, they went up to the king and said, if you don't leave this alliance, because we don't want to being any more wars, we will, well, we'll just start an uprising. So, the French king says, okay. Or Prime Minister, I don't know at this point. So they go ahead and leave, but as soon as that happens, the Italians say, oh, well, we can invade you. So that leaves the US to join on the side of the France. And honestly, France did not leave off on a good term with the red team, so they go ahead and declare war on France. So, and then you go ahead and have that uprising happening because, well, during another war. And it looks something like this. And no one's working together, so there's going to be a lot of fighting happening in France, even after France has given up. So you have the Italians gaining the most land right off the bat, because they sort of started this. They almost make it to the rebellion. They can hear each other's bombs go off. And this day is called the day of France's death. That is what it's called. But before we get any farther, I have some explaining to do what happened. If you guys see the map over here in North America is a little bit different. It's because I ended up losing the map and I had to redraw the entire thing. Most of it is pretty accurate still because I didn't really change much in Europe, except for this. This was the tricky part, so I ended up getting that right. But in North America, if you see anything different, then just know that I ended up losing the map and I had to redraw it. So, okay, back to the video. You have German troops lined up along this border because they're like thinking, since we're not since we're technically in war with the Italians. Are they gonna join the war? But next off, you have the Italians going ahead and leaving that alliance, and it is this color. And now I need an invading color for them, so we're just gonna make that extremely light. There. And yes, this color is different compared to these. So this is the Italians invading color. And also you have this island falling over to the Italians because, well, who really thinks they're going to be able to hold on to that? Not much. Okay, back to the video. We finally have the first battle between the Italians and the Germans happening. And you have the Italians losing that. And it is not going so well for the Italians because you end up having the Germans moving across the army border of the Italians. A little bit because they don't really want to lose their fighting France, because their goal is to mainly take back what once was theirs. And they looked at this little country right here. I don't remember the name. I know the name, but I just don't remember. And the Vatican City, and they said, hey, you can either join us or you know, die. And they go ahead and decide to join. And now with that, you have the Italians. Oh, sorry guys, that was just my phone. Yeah, you go ahead and have them pushing along the border of this rebellion, and then you have them striking in really hard and moving along the border, and they do not spare anyone. Anyone that is in this rebellion, they ain't saving no one, pretty much. But with this, you now have the Germans going ahead. Their main goal is just to try to stop the Italians, but while also holding out a front line. So you can the French either see them as an ally, but invading them, or a aggressor that is saving them and killing them at the same time. So, with this, you finally have a naval invasion from the English, finally lasting, and it starts right there. It's not that big, it's not that small. Well, it is actually that small, but I need to zoom in fully for this. Just to make sure that's on one. And you go ahead and have it invading very slowly along the border of Belgium. It literally is just their army is moving across the border of Belgium, which ends up leaving it like I broke the border. They did not invade them, but also, if you guys want to see a collapse of Europe, like where Europe just pretty much all goes to war, not like how I collapsed it. That's the border. Wait, like that. There. So they invaded along the coastal line, and they do slowly push out, but in some places they do kind of struggle. Mostly here, because that's the closest to Paris. But everywhere else, they pretty much just have a easy time. But something bad happens for the rebellion. The French army gets down there. Oh wait, oh sorry, I forgot this was the French. They can't win. They can't win a battle because they're fighting a rebellion. They can't win against the rebellion. Also, they can't win against the Germans. So I guess that's another thing. But you go ahead and finally have the Germans fully taking out that, and now that pretty much destroys all hope of the Italians pushing up through here, because they're going to have a hard time pushing through this monster of a force, because since most of their troops are down here right now because they were just invading there, they're trying to fight off the rebellion, which is going really well for some reason. Yeah, they're scared of the Germans right now. It's like the German barbarians and the Romans. But you finally have Switzerland joining this war, and it is on the side of the Germans because, well, the Italians say, hey, why don't we just push through this really mountainy place, and that should go well, right? It starts off like this, and then you have the German army getting down there, and the Italians are like, oh, we should probably retreat. That is exactly what happens. But not even the Germans can push into their own territory, which goes perfectly for the Italians because that leaves the Germans vulnerable. But Switzerland sorry about that. Let me just redraw that. Eventually Switzerland is forced to sign the peace treaty, and it looks something like this. Wait, wrong color. Obviously the Germans are not really happy about this because, well, a new front line is just built, and they're gonna struggle. They obviously cannot really push through here because that's just water, but there probably is a bridge, so they're gonna make a little bit of advancement across this border. And also the Germans go ahead and make advancements all across this border right here. So obviously the people in Switzerland is not so happy, and this right now, this area like right here in the white is pretty much just a neutral zone. There's not too much fighting, but still are fighting. But the Germans go ahead and have some more luck. The Germans have some more luck pushing in through Switzerland because not so many people are angry with the Germans winning this war. But so does the Italians, and their main goal is to get enough land to build a military base here, which probably won't be the smartest, or at least take a military base that's probably like somewhere across the border or somewhere close. But you finally have the Italians learning, and they say, hey, let's not be stupid this one time. And the people finally say, you know what? Okay. I know. Not even the Romans could do this. But you finally have these guys being able to push out a little bit and hold out a front line on the Germans. And they think that that will probably just be the best idea for them. But you go ahead and have these guys pushing across the border. They're using the Germans' tactics, and the rebellion sort of realizes that let's start pushing back on the Germans. So the French aren't really making that much movement because what are they gonna do? There are too many people that are invading them. So now pretty much everyone is doing moving across the border. But see, that's just gonna stack up and eventually invade France, and the capital is pretty much flooded with troops. That's where all of the troops are being handled, because in the circle, not a single German troop can be found. Well, they can be found, but they're just dead. Or British troop, they're dead. Or no, not. How are these guys gonna make it up here? They're probably not. But you finally have the Italians being able to collapse this area right here. But at the cost of this area over here. And you have these guys saying, hey, if you give us, if you just give us this little panhandle and this panhandle, we'll leave you alone. And they say, you know what? Fine. So the German troops goes ahead and walks behind the troops that are leaving this area. They only get what is invaded though. So it looks something like that. So it does look a little bit goofy. So now these two guys are sort of have a peace treaty. But now this is not good news for the Italians. So the Italians mainly focus on the rebellion because, well, they don't want to lose to the rebellion. And yeah. But with this, you go ahead and have a really big invasion from the Italians happening. And with the rebellion left to this, they say, hey, let's just invade France because, you know, this is France. They can't do anything about a rebellion. We're France. We're rebellioning France. So with that, you go ahead and have the rebellion finally being able to meet up with the British coastal line. Well, not here, but here, the British waters. But with that, you finally have the Germans realizing that, oh my god, let's stop these guys from being able to push. So they go ahead and push through here. Okay, so a part of this peace treaty, I need to explain this. Let's say there's absolutely no troops right here. These guys will go ahead and walk in and say, well, this is ours. But let's say there's no troops at all in this line. Then they'll say, okay, well, that's ours. And that's why you saw a little bit of pushing of the Germans in there. But finally, the French are like, I think we should do something about this. So they go ahead and send up their troops to the British and say, hi, you're being invaded now. And the British are like, what? What? And a lot of land is gone. And you have a lot of land from the Germans. Not three. Gone. It looks like this. And a lot of land from the Italians, gone. Well, not a lot, but they do some major damage to these guys. And you gotta remember, these guys are the guys that fought in the war over there. So the Germans do feel kind of bad, so they go ahead and say, here you go. And so this is technically a red ally now. Oh, wait, no. Also, they didn't really have any connection with that. And now the British is freaking out because they're like, what just happened? Why is our capital gone? What? But don't worry, these guys, the British got it, because obviously the British ain't gonna lose to the French, because the French aren't good. They thought that they were good for a little bit, but this just caused the Germans to get more land. And they finally meet up with this, and that is cut off. And you finally have the Italians and the Red Team and the Rebellion not fighting anymore, but finally agreeing on a split between these guys. And, well, not really these two guys. They are still in war, but this entire thing falls over to the Italians, and the rest of that falls over, and yeah. Okay, so this is what the peace treaty looks like. I'm debating, guys. Do you want? I'm thinking. So I'm wondering if you guys would like to see this. So if you would like, comment that, and I will see. But if you guys don't, then I'm going to leave it out. But for now, I'm just going to put it in. But, so there is technically still a war going on between these two. And these two, obviously the reason why the Italians are having some major troubles with the red team, I mean the Germans, is because they have the entire red team on them. That also falls over to the British. That goes over to Germany. And this goes over to Italy. That goes over to Italy. Those troops in the peace treaty, because technically Italy won that war, so their troops has to be pulled out, but their troops are going to be staying in there. So with that, you have France gone, and you know that colony that I was talking about over there, which I completely forgot about that I colored in. I mean, I definitely didn't forget about. I did. Yeah. That's also gone. That just goes over to the States. That falls over to these guys. Also, those guys are now part of the red team. So now with this, you have a big Germany. Not so big France. Well, I mean, not big France at all. This just, wait, we'll just put this like this, and the Italians start their own, alliance, and it starts with the US, and, also Brazil goes ahead and joins this. That is a part of the US. Who else? I guess I would say, Spain goes ahead and joins that. And also, you have, Vietnam joining that alliance. Actually, that is way too close, so I'm not gonna say Vietnam. Yeah, so that's what it looks like. I changed my mind on Vietnam. But, you go ahead and have, a lot of land being gone from, everyone. But, now, this is for, I have a question for you guys. Why do you guys watch one video once in a while, but then never come back to it? Because I posted 24 videos. I know that's not a lot, but that's a lot for a new creator, at least, for me. But, this is going to be the final war of this video, and it is going to be, it is going to be the Italians and the red team. Well, there's not going to be any fighting over here, because they have declared, the US has declared that they are not going to be fighting. But Jamaica goes ahead and joins this and say, we're fighting, and demands the British to, well, not the British, but they go ahead and do some invading of their own, and they take that chunk of land right there. And guess what? Jamaica says, give me this land right here. I want this land. And Mexico's like, I barely knew that you were still around. You were just a country there. So obviously, you now finally have troops going over to Italy. But now you have Spanish troops moving up here, and you're gonna have a massive invasion of this. Oh yeah, this is France. That's how France is still in Europe. That little blue area, because they're technically still in this war, but they say, no, I'm peacing out. I already have too much little, and I'm like one of the littlest countries in Europe. But you have a massive invasion of this, but it goes down because you have the German troops, and right there. So, oh my god. So with this, you now have, oh, that is the water. But, with this, you now have a lot of German troops over here. Here, wait, 1 second, guys. I need to show you something. So, what ended up happening in the peace treaty is because these guys too sort of signed a peace treaty, but they were still in war. It's like a middle peace treaty. I don't know if that exists. Probably doesn't. It doesn't. This area has to be... Wait, not that area. This area has to be unmilitarized by the Germans. And the reason why they say that is because, well, they... Obviously, the Italians realize that if they're going to stay in war with these guys, then they're going to at least ask the Germans to leave some land unmilitarized for them. And that's what ends up leading to the cut off of the France part of it, the France part of Germany. It's actually called the Paris part of Germany, but okay, sorry about that. I just had to turn off my notifications. But okay. So you go ahead and have the Italians pushing into the France part of Germany, but these guys go ahead and say, "Yeah, I'm joining their side," and that's exactly what happens. And a little bit of territory, not territory, a little bit of a rebellion gets formed, and that's by the French, and it looks something like this. It goes up, and then it goes down, and because you need Paris in there, and then it goes up, and then it comes down, and it looks like that. You can tell how long this rebellion will last because you can just see where the troops are. So they pretty much just formed where the troops were and weren't, because you have them really trying to rise up in Paris, but those troops that were there in Paris immediately go ahead and fight back and cut this area off, which leads to the downfall. And now you don't really have much from this rebellion after this, because, well, they did their main thing, but now they are just being destroyed. With this, you finally have the Italians deciding, well, maybe I can win this war if I don't make the same mistakes that people did before. Their main goal of this is to actually get their former lands from the Roman Empire, but the Germans' plan is to make well, I don't want to really say that, but their main plan is just to become a Germany. But with this, you finally have a nuke being dropped on here, because this was a major city. Wait, not here. A major city right here. Wait, no, that's a big bomb. This is the color. The nuke is dropped on the major city, which was France's major city, newest major city, like I said, and Rome, which is down there, and also dropped in the middle of the ocean, because they were trying to fly over to Spain, but it was shot down. Also, you have a nuke launched on a military base, but don't think the Italians won't fight back. You have them just making it barely out of Berlin. Them almost hitting London. Oh wait, sorry, they don't hit the they actually don't hit Rome. They hit beside it, just like the Germans are doing, and how the Romans. But they ended up just going ahead and dropping nukes on this area. Wait, dropping nukes on that area, because that's where a lot of troops are stationed, which immediately sent Germany into a wrecking ball, because started spiraling, because the Germans are starting to lose land, and this is one of the first times that they've been invaded in this entire series, I believe. But with this, you now have a one of the largest nukes ever sent. Well, this is the largest nuke, and it was coming all the way over here, and it was supposed to land right here, which is like down here, which are where all the military bases are, but it still made it into pretty much Italian land. It only landed right here, which wasn't enough, because it landed in Germany also. But this is the largest nuke to ever be set off, and as you can see, it is pretty big. By pretty big, I mean ginormous. Just ignore that these two colors are the same. Just pretend like they're not. This is my nuking color. This is the Alliance color. But now you go ahead and have the Germans pushing in over here and start to take back a little bit of land from the nuked area. But that doesn't go so well, because that is the wrong color of pink. They go ahead and take out all of this, and the peace treaty is finally signed. You know that this new country? Yeah, I'll just show you guys. This is what the peace treaty looks like. You go ahead and have the Germans losing a lot of this land, but with the sacrifice of this land, you have the Germans taking this land, and the British taking that land, and same with this. So the British are obviously too strong. The red team is obviously too strong for the Italians to get out. Oh, well, get away with. Actually, here, wait. Let me redraw this. So the Germans have like a weird massive lump of land here, because that's where most German troops were, and so that's going to be a problem. So obviously they are told to stay there, and they're like, what? And they say, well, you live there now. And they say, huh? And France obviously is finally kicked out of Europe, because, well, yeah. Now, with this, you have the collapse of, you finally have the collapse of Germany. So German, impossible to be invaded. Because I don't remember making Germany invaded once. Except for, nope, not even in Europe, in North America, because they don't have a colony in North America. But, yeah. If you guys, I've been thinking, do you guys want to see a 1 hour long video of mapping and or a stream of me mapping? So I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is debated land, because, and then also the entire border is okay. So this is disputed lands right here, and especially over here, because the Germans get to keep that. But that's where all the German troops were, so the Germans don't lose that. It's complicated. But you finally have the end of Germany never being invaded. I'm gonna go ahead and but the Italians do not get all of their land that they wanted. But yeah. So this is gonna do it for this episode. I know Germany might not look too good, especially down here in the France area, because let's take a look at that. They kind of look like it's like a broken border here. I don't know. It just looks like it's a broken border. But that is going to do it for this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.